This is Talk of the Town, a weekly program featuring community events happening in and around Northeast Michigan. With your host, Bradley Summers. And get the latest from Alpena Community College with ACC President Dr. Don McMaster. And now, today's Talk of the Town.
Good morning, welcome to Talk of the Town. Today I have two very special guests like usual, but today our first special guest is Joe Gentry from the United Way of Northeastern Michigan. Hey Joe.
Good morning. How are you, Brad?
Good, how are you doing?
Good, very well. Busy.
Busy. It's scary to think that we're already talking about fall programming and fall initiatives, but some of the, and kind of going into that season is your annual United Way event, the kickoff.
Our kickoff campaign. It's a campaign for funding for 2024 throughout the community. We're doing it in conjunction with Good Morning Alpena and the Chamber. We're the sponsor, and our program is not so much to talk about United Way, but we've invited some of our guests to speak of programs we've supported. Justin Glusing is going to talk a little bit about the disability playground equipment that's going into all elementary, because we help support that. I've invited Great Start Collaborative to talk a little bit about Shoot-Palooza, because we've supported that pretty strongly. And then I have Christine Ranger, who is an employee of ours, and she is a grant writer who supports the Healthy Foods Initiative in Northern Michigan. And so she's going to talk a little bit about what she does. These are some of the programs that we have ongoing that people may not know about.
You know, I had the honor of meeting Christine at an event just a couple of years ago. You had introduced us, and it was pretty cool to listen to her and to see the vision of, how healthy foods can help communities. We all kind of know that, but to be able to see how resources can be brought into our community and funneled through your organization as you're reaching out to more and more and partnering and collaborating with more in the community. Talk a little bit about how vital it is to bring those food insecurity, those food resources to our area.
Well, if you'd have read Bridge Magazine, one of their last issues, they talked about Alcona County and how during the summer there are no meal programs for youth, period. And so once school ends, he says, Dan O'Connor, the superintendent, said these kids don't have any place to go to get food. And he said we have a very, very high need and high food insecurity in our county. And so we've been able to step in, write some grants, get some money to be able to meet some of the pop-up pantry needs, and also the fresh produce market stuff that Christine's doing, to allow people to have access to food and access to fresh food. And so it's been very successful so far. And that's a program that's been run by Christine Ranger and Steve Wright, who many people know from his days with WATZ.
Yeah, he's got a very memorable voice.
Yes, he does. I've been on trips with him, and people go, "I know you," because he'll start talking. "You're the guy from the radio." He says, "It was from the radio." Yeah.
And the Good Morning Alpena United Way kickoff event is September 8th.
8th, that's correct.
At 7 a.m. And it's at what location?
Alpena Golf Course.
The Alpena Golf Course.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great location too. They have great food.
I know they do. Yeah.
Great food. And a lot of the other, why the United Way kickoff is so important and why it's important to support what you're doing for some of the programs obviously that you talked about, but the Imagination Library is one that you're bringing helping bring reading resources to our community.
When we looked at the Dolly Parton Imagination Library, other organizations had looked at it and said it's too complicated, it's too expensive, and I kind of convinced my board that this program would be self-supporting. There are enough people in our community that wanted to see this happen. There's 1,370 eligible children that are 0 to 5 in Alpena County, and that could participate in the program. So in our first year, we've enrolled 770 kids so far, which is way ahead of the norm. They said it takes 5 years to get to 70% of your normal population. And we're almost there in our first year of being able to sponsor the program. It's open to any child in Alpena County who's 0 to 5. They can register online, or there's written registration forms available through the library or through our office. And I go to all the daycare centers. I work with early Head Start and Head Start programs to make sure that that information is out there, and it's no cost to the family. Books are mailed monthly directly to the children.
Yeah, my little guy at home who's in the program, it's such an awesome opportunity for him to like go to that mailbox and get something tangible like a book, and and we read it together, and it just helps proliferate that whole literacy component in their life. And I think it's such a great program that you have all collaborated on and really presenting it very well. And like you said, at 70% over like year 1 and 2 is pretty incredible.
And when we looked at it, I found out that Alcona County, which is one of our service areas, has it being provided by the Intermediate School District in Iosco County. And in Mount Morenci, the program's available through the Child Support Agency out of Oscoda County. But yet nobody in Alpena, a very much larger population, was willing to step up, and we did. And the program's going along very well right now. We have intentions. We'd like to be able to extend the program into Presque Isle as well.
Awesome. So, and as we kind of like shift focus a little bit and we think about, some of the fall programming, we're actually thinking almost Christmas programming with your Christmas wish list.
We do Christmas wish lists. We took that over from the college. It's been around for 40 some years. And we served last year 380 kids. Across our 3-county region. We work with all the school success workers. They're allowed, each school is designated so many kids that can participate in the program. School success workers understand those families in need. They might ask for a few more. Sometimes we're able to do it. Last year, like I said, we served 375. We're shooting to go over 400 this year, and we're going to include Rogers City Schools as well.
Wow.
So, it's a very, very meaningful program. I think I told somebody it's probably the most emotionally overwhelming experience I had the first year we took it over. When you see the families that are in need and you see what the kids are asking for, underwear, socks, pants, shirts, these aren't toys, these are needed items. My mom needs laundry soap or a laundry basket, or we need a mattress or bedding. It's a great, great program. We have so many good community sponsors that will take names and match the gifts that are needed.
That's always what's the most encouraging part, is seeing the community rally behind the programs that are going on and helping others in need. Yep. And a lot of people kind of like to be silent partners too. They don't want that, their face out there, their name. They just want to be able to do something really impactful that's going to help, a child and their family. And I think it's incredible, what you're all doing, you and your board of directors and all your wonderful volunteers, on trying to make this, helping make this a better community. Not trying, but helping. And doing so many great things and stepping up in so many wonderful ways, to make the quality of life better for Northeast Michigan.
That's what we're trying to do, make a better life for everybody, here in our communities, and we see the need. And the more I get involved with agencies like the Boys Club and Girls Club, or even the public school system, and they know the need, they see the need, and we can work together to try to overcome those needs by providing goods and services as they're needed. So.
Well, Joe, thank you so much for being on the show today.
Thank you very much, Brad.
I always appreciate talking to you, and I love to learn about what the United Way is doing. Yeah. Stay tuned after the break for Christine Witalski from the Besser Museum for Northeast Michigan. Welcome back, everyone. Our next guest is Christine Witalski with the Besser Museum Northeast Michigan. I am so sorry. I can't believe I can't get that. I think it's the of part and the for.
But we have a lot of people still refer to us as Jessie Besser Museum all the time, and that's okay, because we love Jessie Besser, and I love that new mural that they put downtown. I've got that picture actually in my office, so when we saw that starting to emerge, it's like, oh my gosh, that is so cool. I love that he's being honored.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. I mean, you think about the area that you're in, that, you know, our new building with the Boys and Girls Club, and, you know, all of that area was developed by Jessie Besser to be just what it is that whole area to be educational and arts. And it's really cool to see 100 years later that, you know.
I know his legacy, and through the Besser Foundation, I mean, our community is so truly blessed. And so it's exciting. And to see the outpouring of the community really loving that addition, because it does honor Jessie Besser. So, you know, I don't know him personally, but I live with him every day, and so I feel very connected, and I'm very proud to be working at the Besser Museum. So,
and you're doing a great job at the Besser Museum. That's my opinion, and I've heard from many other people in the community. I mean, it's incredible the things that are coming up. You know, I know one of the first things that we really want to talk about, so the community is aware if they haven't seen it on your website or on social media, but you have some hour changes that are coming up.
Yeah, so we are going to our fall hours. So we started this a few years ago, where we have our summer hours and our fall hours, and just really allowing our staff a day to get some work done. So our admin day is actually Tuesday, which it might sound a little weird that we are open Monday, closed Tuesday, open Wednesday through Saturday, closed Sunday, open Monday, closed Tuesday, because Monday we get a lot of tourists that are still in Alpena, and Monday is a busy day for us. Tuesday it kind of slows down, and that allows us to do our admin day and just, you know, close to the public. We're still in the museum, but doing a lot of work. You know, there's just so much that goes on behind the scenes that people don't realize to keep the museum running. So we'll start our fall schedule September 1st. Our planetarium schedule will change, and it will be just Fridays and Saturdays. So all summer long we offered shows, you know, Monday through Saturday. But as the tourist season is winding down, kids are back in school, it goes back to a Friday, Saturday showtime. And all of that is on our website. They can find that on our website.
Yeah, the information that's presented on there is incredible. You know, I really love the picture of, you know, Grant the Goose. You know, it's something we didn't talk about with Joe, who was on the previous segment, but, you know, about the Giving Tuesday that's coming up as well. I can't believe, you know, we're already in the fall planning sessions and stages of our organizations, but, you know, it's pretty neat to see some of the things that Grant the Golden Goose, because you, as the Besser Museum for Northeast Michigan, you actually were the top gainer last year with the campaign.
We were so surprised, so thankful, you know, with our kickoff of our renovation to our exhibit, the Discover Northeast Michigan History exhibit. And that's a huge project. I mean, you know, doing the construction at the Boys and Girls Club for as long as you have, those are big, multi-phased projects. And so to kick that off, to win Grant, we dismantled the exhibit. The drywall is going up. We are going to have a meeting with our exhibit designers coming up here in the next week or so to look at the second schematic design. And they are just communicating with us so wonderfully. We've got a large committee that represents really a diverse population of different academic themes and history. So, because it's 11 different thematic themes in this exhibit. So, you know, from geology to Native American to fur trapping, lumbering, industry, farming. So we have just really connected with our community to say, what story do you want us to help you tell about our community? And so it just has really been going well. You know, I know that there's a big price tag on there. We still have some funds to raise, so they'll be hearing more about that when we have our final design. And we can communicate more with the public. But we did put on Facebook the exhibit, and Grant the Golden Goose was in the gallery checking out the progress. And, you know, we're working with Meridian Construction and their crew, and they have just been really, really good to work with. They did our outside of the building, and we get so many compliments on that. And now they're inside, and they're going to be outside again, because we are doing our Great Lakes Fisheries Heritage exhibit too. So a lot of construction going on as we do our normal everyday exhibits. Like we opened our juried art exhibit, which is amazing. We are also featuring last year's juried art winner, Diane English, and her exhibit is amazing. And then we did the Alpena News. We partnered with them for their anniversary of their 125th edition. So 124 years in business, longest operating business in the community, but 125th edition. And oh, Bradley, I love to see the people come in and read. I sent Justin an email the other day and I said, people are loving this exhibit. It's a really simple exhibit, but people are loving it and they're connecting with it. And I just love to see how people, you know, like respond to exhibits and enjoy the museum and all the compliments that they give for a city of our size to have a museum of this quality. You know, and I didn't start it, I'm just helping maintain it, but it's just something our whole community should be proud of. So.
Well, you just exude the passion, you know, for an individual that, you know, is responsible for an organization that does just what you just said. It's incredible, and if anybody doesn't know Christine, you know, please get to know her, because you are one of the most, you know, passionate, caring individuals I've personally met. And, you know, for what you bring to this community, to bring the history and the culture and the past and so many things. I mean, you know, I just saw a picture of the old junior high, you know, from your Throwback Thursdays that you have on social media, which is absolutely, like, I went to school there. You know, it looked way better in the picture from 1940 something, I think. But it's just pretty neat to keep seeing that history, and you keep helping present that and getting it out there.
Me and my team, Sarah Honeycutt is our collections manager, and you know, she, we like to say homegrown. She went through Besser Elementary and junior high and high school, went off to college, came back with her history degree, and she goes through our archives. She's just amazing, and she does the Throwback Thursdays, and I just love to see the responses. People love that. And it is a team, it's a team effort in our museum and a team effort in our community. We were so excited. Holcomb stepped in and worked with Bedrock Excavating and brought in new fossil fill, freshened up the quarry, is redoing some signage. They're excited because, of course, they're geologists and they understand it, and just promoting what limestone means to our community and what the cement industry, and educating people, and they are supporting the museum with that. I was just very excited. So check out our fossil park, because it's all new. Another, what, 10 tons of fossil fill, you know, and you just never know what you're going to find out there. So, and it's a free souvenir that people can take home from the Besser Museum.
It's awesome. I'm really excited to see all the wonderful things that you're involved with and your team and everybody's accomplishing at the museum, because I know you're very busy right now.
Yes,
and I can't thank you enough for being here to talk and give all these updates for everybody watching today, so that, you know, we know what's going on. And, you know, it's such an important part of our community, and, you know, thank you again.
Well, thank you.
Thank you. And thank you all for joining us as we continue to learn about the wonderful nonprofits in our community. Stay tuned after the break for the ACC segment.
Greetings, everyone. Welcome to Talk of the Town. I'm Dr. Don McMaster, president of Alpena Community College. And I thought I'd take our time today to talk about some of the activities that have happened this week at Alpena Community College. We're in week 2 of fall semester, the 15-week fall semester. So we have a pretty good handle on enrollment, what fall enrollment looked like, and that's a pretty good story. We will end up with more than 1,500 students enrolled for fall, which is a threshold we really haven't reached since before COVID. So that's a good thing. In terms of contact hours, which is comparable to credit hours, but slightly different. Contact hours includes lab courses. We are up about 3%. So we had budgeted to be up 1%. So from a standpoint of our budget, this is good. And there's a couple of factors that apply to that, I think. One main factor is our enrollment in our nursing programs has really increased. And those are a lot of credit hours, a lot of contact hours due to the lab and the clinicals associated with those programs. So each percentage represents about a little under $50,000. So what we had hoped and projected when we began our budgeting process last March, really in earnest, for this year, this fiscal year, which began on July 1. We are 2%, we will be about 2% above that. So this is a good place to start. Gives us a little cushion in terms of the budget in case things don't go exactly right or there's some sort of sudden expense, which often can happen, that you don't predict, and it gives you a little cushion to deal with that. So this is a good thing, and it's exciting to see the students back, faculty back, everyone engaged in what we do on Alpena campus and down in Oscoda, and in 23 or 24 other K-12s, maybe more than that now, that we serve. And a new K-12 that we're serving is down in Clarkston, which is near Pontiac in Oakland County. It's an interesting story, and it's reflective of many, I think, positive things. Our two concrete tech instructors, Tim Onswetter and Eric Kennedy, they, like many of our occupational faculty, they do a lot of recruiting. They're out. Not only do they teach during the school year, they're out at tech centers and conferences that draw instructors in their related areas, and they meet them and they try and get students to come to Alpena Community College, in this case our concrete tech program. Recently that bore fruit. Tim was at a conference downstate. He met somebody who was connected to Clarkston Schools. That connected us to their construction trades instructor, and they connected. And so this week we piloted our one-credit Introduction to Concrete class to about 50 Clarkston high school students. This would be a dual enrollment arrangement. So how do you do that? That's a long ways away. We just made the trip this week. It's a 4-hour run. We use WebEx technology. So this is like Zoom or GoToMeetings or Teams, except it's, I think, a little higher quality. We've talked about this. It was a pretty transformational technology for us in the dual enrollment world. Prior to that, we would have to send an instructor out to a K-12, to teach classes that students there might want. And this became, it is prohibitively expensive if you're going out to teach 3 times a week at a school, 60 or 90 miles away, that may have 4 or 5 kids that want, or students that want a particular class. We couldn't afford to do it. So WebEx allowed us to not only eliminate that travel cost. A person could teach the class from Alpena or Oscoda. You could aggregate small enrollment schools, and that's many of the schools we deal with don't have a lot of, we'll have 30 to 50 kids in their senior class. So if you could aggregate 2 or 3 schools and have 6 or 7 students per school and use that technology to link to Alpena or Oscoda, we could profitably run a class or a number of classes. We piloted that before COVID. And it worked very well, and we've refined it. Of course, COVID forced everyone to do something similar to that, so we were in a good position there. The faculty and the support staff stepped up and did a remarkable work during that period. But now, this allows us to, even on our occupational programs, which have a lot of hands-on and lab components to them, the introductory classes there don't so much. They're more of an introduction to the industry. In the case of concrete, you know, ready mix, masonry, pre-stress, a lot of different types of concrete for a lot of different uses, a lot of different career pathways. So this week we had a new school. Oakland County is very populous. They have a lot of schools that are much larger than schools we normally deal with. Clarkston has almost 600 kids per class, and that's not the largest school in Oakland County. So the opportunity here for us is to do well, to create a pipeline of folks that are interested in concrete, are knowledgeable about it, get them in some way to be interested to come to Alpena to complete the degree, and then to replicate that introductory piece in areas with more students, more population. This is this is not an imperative, but it would make pretty good business sense to do, and we're doing it. And so that's just one of the things, one of the innovations that we're doing at Alpena Community College. I want to credit the concrete tech instructors. I want to credit Mike Colleen, Director of Admissions, Mark Grunder, who's our IT guru, and Darren Leitner, who understands K-12s at a deep level. It's a great team. And so thank you folks for watching Talk of the Town. We'll see you again next week.
This has been Talk of the Town with your hosts Bradley Summers and Dr. Don McMaster. For a list of community events taking place in Northeast Michigan, please visit our website at WBKB11.com and click on our community link. This has been a Thunder Bay Broadcasting Corporation production. All rights reserved.